Things are a little weird to say the least in the world of human relationships. More and more conversations are arising about feeling lonely, the friendship recession, or even the loneliness epidemic. As a member of Gen Z, I can perceive a change in the way we are interacting with each other. Or, to be more precise, the way we aren't interacting with each other. My mom said something this past few days that got stuck in my mind. She said,
Essa nova geração tem muito medo de falar com as pessoas.
and I was like, that's actually true. Let's talk a bit about the lack of interaction, social anxiety, and loneliness. Feel free to share your opinions in the comments. I would really like to know your opinions on this topic. So, are we losing our ability to socialize in the real world? We couldn't talk about social interactions without talking about something that has been drastically changing the way we interact with the world around us. The use of the internet, and more precisely, the use of social media. We cannot deny that social media has presented us with amazing opportunities in a more practical and almost instant way to interact with people who are far away from us. But we also cannot deny that we are facing some pretty bad consequences for frequently using social media. Marlon Twinman II, a quantitative social scientist at USC Edinburgh, said that human relationships have suffered and their complexity has diminished because many of our interactions are now occurring in platforms designed to promote transactional interactions that provide feedback in the form of attention metrics. Many people do not have much experience or practice interacting with people in settings where there are collective or communal goals for a larger group. The social in social media can't be compared to a true face-to-face interaction. What we do on social media, like, dislike, follow, unfollow, aren't things that we do in our daily social interactions. Therefore, the more time we spend on social media, the weaker our true social skills get. The wide use of social media is also generating some consequences in an area that is affecting all of us: social anxiety. Social anxiety is the fear of being judged and evaluated negatively by other people, leading to feelings of inadequacy, inferiority, self-consciousness, embarrassment, humiliation, and depression. The relationship between social media and social anxiety is a little strange. Apparently, someone who has social anxiety would feel safer interacting with others online. Therefore, social media could be considered a viable alternative for someone to be social. But the longer this person stays online, the less time they will have to interact in real life. And this situation turns into a vicious cycle. You don't know how to interact with others in the real world. Then you go to the internet. And because you spend so much time online, you don't know how to interact with others in the real world. And the more alarming fact about this trend is the way that it is affecting younger generations. Teenagers are the most likely to constantly use social media, and they are the ones that are going through a critical phase of identity formation. They are the ones who use social media the most to engage in a community and to try to access a sense of belonging. According to Dr. Nelisha Wickramasinghe, I'm so sorry for any mispronunciation, who is a psychologist, author, educator, and international leadership and organizational change consultant, one outcome of our reliance on externalities is that we grow up having little or no sense of who we are, what we need and want, and what our self-defined purpose in life might be. Dependent on outside sources, our ability to experience intrinsic self-worth, which is not reliant on opinion or approval, is diminished. And we are becoming very familiar with this problem and the sometimes tragic but often debilitating outcomes of friending, unfriending, liking, blocking, and opinionating on social media platforms. The same vicious cycle that happens with social anxiety and social media also happens with feelings of loneliness and the use of the internet. The connection between loneliness and problematic use of the internet can occur in both directions, as a factor and as a result. The more you feel lonely, the more you use the internet, and the more you use the internet, the more you feel lonely. And with the accumulation of that, we are becoming more and more antisocial. Research indicated that students use smartphones to evade or avoid situations they get into. We can't even stand in a place alone without the instant urge to grab our phones, instantly creating a barrier between us and the surrounding ones. While researching for this video, I came across an interesting article that talks about our avoidance of talking to strangers. And what most prevents us from talking to strangers is our fear of being rejected. And I believe this is all connected. When we feel rejected, the same areas of our brains that become active when we experience pain become active too. From small rejections like someone not liking your post on social media, to larger rejections like getting fired from a job, we get the same response from our brains as if we are experiencing physical pain. It appears that interacting with the strangers is indeed a little hard. Coming back to the article that I was talking about, it shows us 3 possible reasons why we are so scared to talk to strangers. First one is the fear of conversational enjoyment. Despite most people actually having great experiences when talking to strangers, we tend to have this fear that our conversation partner will not enjoy the conversation at all. The second one is fear about interpersonal liking. We usually think that others won't find us interesting, and our worst fear is that as a consequence they will reject us. Fear about our own conversational abilities. The last one is about our fear that we don't have the capability to actually talk to someone, and that we don't have the skills to have a pleasant conversation. This is all connected to our fear of rejection. But did you know that studies actually show that the conversations we have with strangers generally go well? In the majority of cases, people aren't going to give you a hate comment or unfollow you just because you approached them. I have to say that I know the struggle of trying to interact with others and be more social, especially when we are so used to the safety of online interactions. And especially when we live in a post-lockdown world, where the changes that were going to take place over the next few years in fact happened in the blink of an eye. Despite that, I also have to say that I do agree with the fact that we need to try to be more social. I hate to break it to you, but in order for us to improve this whole situation, we actually have to take a deep look inside and understand what are the chains that are blocking us from simply interacting with other human beings. Here are some interesting ideas that I found while researching for this video. In a Wall Street Journal interview, psychologist Adam Grant estimated that ambiverts make up between half and 2/3 of the population. And why is that important? According to freelance journalist Caroline Beaton, the uncovery of ambiverts is a part of a larger investigation, suggesting that healthy personalities are situational. Some experts even think personality is a myth. We're inconsistent. We change more than we think we will, depending on what happens. There may be no permanent, fixed me to expose introvert or extrovert. We have this tendency to believe we have only fixed traits, when in reality we are pretty capable of change. Instead of putting ourselves in an introverted box and believing we can never be more social, we should understand that we are changeable beings and that some small changes can definitely benefit us. I'm not saying that we should change ourselves completely. I am an introverted and I love my time alone. But I also know that there are some attitudes that I can improve to live a more fulfilling life. The mere exposure effect. The mere exposure effect refers to the finding that the more often people have previously been exposed to something, the more they like it. Quem não é visto não é lembrado is a Brazilian saying that in a quick translation refers to the fact that those who aren't seen aren't remembered. In order for us to be more social, we need to put ourselves out there. PhD Marisa Franco says that this means that if we show up regularly, people will come to like us more and more over time. So we should never judge a new club or class based on our impressions during the first meeting, when everyone is stilted and threatened by unfamiliar characters. Knowing about mere exposure means that we all need to not just show up and engage, but show up constantly. What do you guys think about this whole situation? What do you think needs to be done for things to get better? Or do you think that there's nothing to change? Thank you so much for watching this video. Please consider giving it a like and subscribing. I'll see you in the next video. Have a lovely day or night. Bye!